this might come up. We hope that we've shown that these ideas, they're not just feel-good ideas, but they can save money, make us money, boost recruitment and retention, right, and boost morale. And that, what you saw actually is just the tip of a huge mountain. The people that presented, that was less than 10% of the students that worked on what you saw. So to anybody, you guys back there, who weren't presenting, didn't want to present, I think we need to thank them because they did so much work on this.
Congratulations to all the students who presented. That was phenomenal. And thank you for challenging us oldsters with your ideas. And so I'm committed to examining all of the proposed ideas. So why don't you send us electronically, right? Not on hard copy, your all of these papers, and I'll ask our COO, Deborah Blockman, who's here, that perhaps we can discuss them at our senior leadership team meetings and see which ones of these, because some of them could be easily implementable and some might take longer, but I so appreciate Professor Slokowski. No one can underestimate the tenacity of Professor Slokowski. I have been the recipient of this because I know how tenacious he can be and persistent he can be in a good way. So thank you so much for your leadership, and thank you to the students for your leadership on this. So thank you.
Adam, Tara, it was really a pleasure for our office to be able to work with you.
Coffee before I fall asleep.
So I'm very excited to see the carry through on that. There's two more pieces to our middle presentation before we get to our actual awards. At this point, I'd like to introduce Susan Jennings, who is the Director of the Office of Campus and Community Sustainability, to give us a little bit of a historical retrospective of the 5 years of our office in this business. Susan.
So our office has actually been in existence for 6 years, and we started right after Chancellor McCormick signed the American College and University President's Climate Commitment in 2007. Our campus was actually one of the first to sign this commitment nationwide. There are now, and actually I think there's some international universities, but internationally 665 campuses have signed the American College and University President's Climate Commitment. And for those of you who don't know anything about the commitment, it was designed by environmental leaders and collegiate leaders. And if you look up, you can see the 4 main points that the agreement asked signatories to address. And these are huge issues that are multi-level issues. So sustainability, as anybody who spends any time looking at it, you understand that it's super complex, that really involves everything. It involves all aspects of our lives, and it also involves how we think about things and how we perceive, what we perceive the world to be. So Rob Darst, who's chair of Sustainability Studies, is going to address the research and academic progress that we've made since we signed this commitment, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the first 2 bullets, what we've done in terms of campus infrastructure, informal education, and community engagement. Many of you have seen our climate action plan and our sustainability assessment. Many people, over 100 people, many of those in this room, worked on this project for a couple of years, including a lot of Rob and Tara's students. And it was a really exciting process because what happened as we developed the sustainability assessment was that we realized how many functional areas of the university were involved with sustainability and how each person on campus really could have a role in improving our carbon emissions. And as the last presentation talked about, we we proposed that we would cut our carbon emissions by 46% by 2020, and we're more than halfway there. This is very exciting. So these are some of the projects that again, some of this, I won't spend too much time on these, but we do have a green roof pilot that was funded by the Leading by Example Awards. We'd love to do more green roofs on campus. Our office with facilities worked on the Met Tower, which got us our wind turbine, and also on our first energy savings campaign, we saved the campus $650,000. I think it was the winner of 2009. And that's our heater usage, set up against the tallest buildings in the world, which we have cut significantly since that time. We're also engaged in some fairly large-scale planning for the future, both in the forest, which Kara talked a little bit about. We have a forest stewardship plan, and we've been busy making and marking trails. We're also working on a comprehensive bike plan, which connects up to the regional bikeway. And down at the bottom, you'll see that was Paul Rudolph's original plan for the campus. Those of you who have been here for more than 3 or 4 years know that Cedar Dale was only recently re-cleared, which we did as part of a Back to the Future idea, thinking about how can we get back to Rudolph's original vision. Interestingly, Rudolph also saw that Cedar Dale Pond ought to be used for things like boating and fishing, things like that, and also expected to have a bio-reserve back where the classroom is, so that's pretty exciting too. Many of these projects have been done with the help of students. These are just a very few. The top 2 are senior design projects. We've had several senior design projects that have worked on various energy projects on campus. Trash audit down in the bottom corner, and also students have been working on transportation surveys. Obviously, we have student engagement. Up in the top left-hand corner, we have the first student awardee, Lauren Waka, and the current student awardee, Olivia Campbell, who did a bag swap on campus. Recently with the Lead Center, we did a clearing up of some of the fallen trees. We've had green games, and also that's a shot of students down at Cedar Dale Garden. The other thing that's really interesting about sustainability is it gets staff. We'd like more people out, but it gets also staff and faculty out. We've had several really successful campus cleanups, and staff and faculty have been significant parts of that. We've also done some bulb plantings, which we're all enjoying now every spring. And those, again, I guess I'm showing my age, but John Toomey, who retired a few years ago, also put up bird boxes on campus for us all to enjoy. The office and other sustainability groups on campus also have regular educational panels. Rich Legault was our first staff. Rich, do you want to be? Our first staff award meeting covers the sustainability series for, I think, 5 years now, so that's pretty terrific. And lately, a lot of the educational initiatives that we have really involved the community. I just put this slide together to give you a brief understanding of how sustainability really is multi-level, and how many of the things that we do are really interwoven. So these are a few of the things that we do in regard to food, which is a huge sustainability issue. A few years ago, Tom Payne, who I should also promote, where's Tom? Who does enormous work and has done enormous work, and maybe more than anything. Tom Payne worked with Michael Grass in the purchasing office to rewrite our food contract a few years ago, which is how we got charcoals on campus, and in that food contract, it includes an increasing commitment to buying local, which of course is very important for our local farms. We also co-sponsor a farmers market with other campus entities, and worked with Andy Pollock from Silverbrook Farm just down the road to have our food waste taken to feed his chickens. And then lately we've been focused on food security and other resilience issues, and on the right is a sort of some photographs from a food security seminar we ran a few months ago with Greg Watson, Commissioner of Agriculture, Mass Commissioner of Agriculture speaking. So these things are becoming increasingly interesting to our community. And the idea of resilience, which most sustainability conversations now are moving toward the resilience idea that we really need. You know, the resilience of the system is its ability to take shocks, environmental shocks, economic shocks, etc. So that's really what we're looking at both on campus and off campus. An again, a few of the things that we're doing, sustainability summer camps for middle schoolers. We've also done them for elders, and have done teacher trainings and other sustainability education in the summer. We send out a weekly sustainability almanac with world news as well as local events. We have a sustainability, or excuse me, we just started a time exchange, or I should say our visitors who Bob Christoph this week. We have two wonderful AmeriCorps vistas who are working with us and other community organizations to start a time exchange, which is essentially a sophisticated barter system. And on the left-hand side, you'll see some shots from our Weatherization Training Center, which we set up in New Bedford with a $1 million grant from the Department of Energy. We've also received funding from the Department of Labor, several local foundations, the President's Creative Economy Fund, and the Chancellor's Public Service Fund. And we have gotten, collectively, lots of recognition for sustainability. In 2008, after a year of being in business, and the second year these awards were given, we were given the Higher Education Leading by Example Award from the state of Massachusetts. We've been profiled in magazines, chosen as a case study by Clean Air, Cool Planet. Last year, for the first time ever, UMass Dartmouth was in the Princeton Review to Green Colleges, which is really marvelous. And we are in it again this year. I just found out on Monday, so that's great. And I just wanted to end it very briefly with our plans for the future, which is that we're starting again in the fall. We're going to be engaged in developing a new climate action plan, and we look forward to working with many of you on that. Thank you very much.
The other new initiative that we're going to be working on in the future, again, based on some of the trash studies that we were able to do here, according to our student numbers, 66% of our garbage that we have currently are spending to or hauling away is recycled. What we'd like to do right now is to set a future goal for ourselves. We would like for the UMass Dartmouth campus to become a zero waste campus. Progress over the last 4 years, we've increased our recycling rate 4%, so we're moving in the right direction. The challenge is that we're at 8.7 at this point, so we have some ways to go, but we think that it's completely attainable given some of the numbers that we've looked at. So again, we'll be getting ourselves up to that 100% by 2025. So at this point, I would like to bring to the podium Rob Darst to talk with us about our Sustainable Studies program.
Okay, so I'm going to keep this really brief because I'm going last. What I want to do is just walk you very quickly through the history of the Sustainability Studies academic program, how it developed, and where we're trying to go at this point. When I came to UMass Dartmouth, way back when dinosaurs walked the quad, and the buildings still look new, there was no sustainability studies program, there was no environmental studies program. There were individual people who taught classes related to these issues, but we never taught together, and a lot of us didn't even know each other, and we were in different colleges, different departments. And then in 2007, a miracle happened, all right? And the miracle was Jerry Blythe, the founding leader of sustainability studies, who we now call the glorious leader. And Leader Blythefield's strategy, Chairman Blythefield's strategy, was to create a class that would be co-taught by 5 different people. So it was a logistical nightmare. None from the same department, and at least 2 colleges represented. And we did this for several years. It was a lot of work. for no pay, basically. But we all got to know each other really well. Okay, we became comrades and formed this strong sense of solidarity that we were then able to convert into a minor. Because initially it was just a class. Okay, it was a class. Broad Fields 202. Okay? And that morphed into the minor, to SUS 202 Topics and Sustainability, which still runs. We have an introductory class now. This is not cooperating with me at all. The Principles of Sustainability, which is now 101, will be 101 being in the fall, so we don't scare the freshmen away. We have the Advanced Seminar in Sustainability Studies, who a lot of those students who spoke to you earlier are in now. Okay? At this point, we have over 30 electives approved, which are drawn from 6. We used to have 7 colleges, so the electives were from 6 of the X7, including SMAT. So now it would be from 5 of the remaining 6. Nursing, we haven't got a class from nursing yet, but we're working on it. Sustainability Studies is currently one of the 10 most popular minors at UMass Dartmouth. It's currently tied for 6th with Business Administration. It's tied for 3rd in the College of Arts and Sciences with Economics, depending on which day you look. One, is like 1 student ahead and 1 student behind. So we're very pleased. Now I went backwards. I don't want to go backwards. Okay, so 28 students have completed the program thus far, and we have that many roughly who are declared to be in the pipeline. Okay, so that's the minor. But the glorious leader went on sabbatical, and there was a succession crisis. Okay? And into the void stepped the dear leader. The successor director, who served as chairman from 2010 to 2012. And under Chairman White, we struck out into graduate studies. And we developed a graduate certificate in sustainable development. This is a it's entirely online, 12 credits. It's designed for sustainability professionals who are typically already working in government business or the nonprofit sector and want to add, some extra letters to their title that focus on in the sustainability area. I won't go through the classes. I know how much time I would have to fill up. I can just move forward. It's one of the 3 most popular graduate certificates at UMass Dartmouth, whether we're looking at online or face-to-face. The other 2 are environmental policy, yay public policy, and principal licensure, just in case you were wondering. I think principal licensure may be first. And 10 students have completed the program so far, and roughly that many in the pipeline. Okay, so I was asked to talk a little bit about research. I just wanted to highlight that students are incorporated into the research. Here's Chad McGuire from Public Policy with one of his master's students, Jason Hill. This is an article about state-level legal responses to receding shoreline. And if you looked at the New York Times today, it's a big issue. In fact, it's the issue I asked you about. Did you see that one, Chad? Fortifying in the Hamptons? And the neighbors are mad. Yeah. Okay, not surprised either. It's not all touchy-feely stuff. This is from Paul Calvert. He's had students working on a variety of nanotechnologies designed to reduce pollution. This one's to reduce pollution from dyes, to make natural dyes work better. He actually has a notional project now about trying to develop a substitute for elephant ivory that would appeal to Chinese carpers, which would have a big impact on elephant slaughter in Africa. And then finally, the man of the day, if I can just make it move forward. come on. There we go. Adam Slukowski, who worked with Cassie Walsh, graduated a couple years ago, on a paper called, an published article, do green companies have happier employees? And the answer is yes, they do. Okay, in fact, it's a very surprising finding. Employees get happier the greener their company is, but not the more financially successful it is. So it's very counterintuitive, and it's a statistically significant finding. All right, finally, what are we doing now? We're continuing to develop the living classroom. That's what you heard about. Those students are all in classes that are part of the living classroom. We have an undergraduate certificate, a 12-credit undergraduate certificate that we've never really used. It sort of was created and not used. We have a lot of students, especially in the College of Engineering, who don't have 18 credits to spare. And so the thought is we could reorient that towards those students so that they can get, an extra little designation on their transcript in recognition, in exchange for taking, maybe 3 classes outside their department or 1 in or something like that. So that's one of the things we're thinking about. We would like to make sustainability studies a concentration within the liberal arts major, which is one of maybe the largest major on campus. I'm not sure. It's certainly one of them. And this would create a path for BA students, at least, to major in sustainability. You asked Art, so how do you major in sustainability? You do liberal arts. Okay, sustainability studies and then humanities to go along with it. And finally, we are working on an online Master of Science in Sustainable Development. The proposal has all been developed, and I understand that we are approaching a decision on that. Okay, so that's where we are at present, and that's it. So, thank you.
Thank you so very much. At this point, we get to move into the awards program. Would like to invite to the podium Dr. Tesla Moresi, our Interim Associate Provost for Graduate Studies and Research. Did I get it all correct? Excellent. Thank you very much. And so Tesla is going to be breaking up different presenters.
Thank you so much. Of course, I have the pleasure of working with the glorious and dear leaders as far as sustainability studies is concerned. So thank you all for coming to today's celebration, celebrating Green Campus Day. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tesla Moresi. I'm the Interim Associate Provost for Graduate Studies. I'm extremely pleased and happy to be here with all of you. Today, we are honoring, I believe, 6 individuals and departments who have made significant contributions to the campus and to the community at large through their exemplary service in teaching, research, and community service. Although they come from various disciplines, they exemplify and represent the collaborative nature of sustainability in general and sustainable practice. I believe this is the 5th year we're doing this, so as was the case in the past 4 years, these winners and many others like them have shown dedication for the sustainability studies and sustainability initiative in general, on campus, off campus, and they collectively have made Dartmouth green campus and a very pleasant place to live and work. So on behalf of the Provost's Office, I'd like to congratulate this year's award recipients and for their dedicated service and commitment to the green initiative on campus. So thank you very much.
College of Business, but we also share the honor of being in the same department. I'd like to talk a little bit about not only the faculty role, but also the student and the employee role in all this, because I think that the faculty and some of the long-term employees have a very important role in kind of sustainability, if you will, by providing that sort of infrastructure of opportunity for people to come through our educational system. And this is an important part of how UMass is evolving. I mean, I think everybody in the state knows that UMass Dartmouth exists. The question is, if you ask them who are we, you're going to get a lot of different answers. And our identity comes back into focus for me if you consider that our roots are as a technical school, one that took the sons and daughters of South Coast and now of the state and gave them practical knowledge that they could actually do something when they came out. And I believe that sustainability offers a real avenue for people to continue that kind of very economy learning. So in a sense, UMass Dartmouth, which started out as Southeastern Massachusetts Technical Institute, is all grown up, but we also have not forgotten where we came from. There's a lot of different parts of a modern university. One of them is knowledge generation and application, and Adam certainly helps us very much with that. He's the author, depending on how you count, of 20 or 30 scholarly publications. Several of those have received awards. He's also served as the president of at least 2 organizations that bring together professors of business law. And he's currently an alternate for a Fulbright scholarship.
That means I'm a half.
Yeah, I have. For most of us, Adam's activities actually sort of become relevant when you consider the intersection between community service and engagement and actual career development for the students. And there's a number of things here that have already been mentioned that exemplify that. For example, the opportunities to do research. And Cassie Walsh, Christopher Huey, and so many others, I think will have an opportunity, have benefited from that opportunity to do research. In fact, recently several database companies have offered to make their material available to our students for free in recognition of the kind of research that has already been generated. They like what they saw and they're hoping for more. There's also, I think you've heard about what I would characterize as the reporting juggernaut of sustainability. I wonder if you notice a pattern. We started with UMass Dartmouth, then we moved out to Dartmouth, and then Fall River. Is there a pattern here? I think it's today South Coast, tomorrow the world. Probably the place where sustainability and Adam's work intersects the highest number of people most directly is actually the in-class projects. And this is a real win-win for everybody, not only for the people in the community whose organizations get expert advice, but also for the students. And I think that if you've ever discovered what you want to do by also eliminating things that you don't want to do, I think that a project can tell you what you don't want to do, and it can also introduce you to things that you really feel that you have a gift for that you didn't know about, and those projects really provide. Who knows what the future brings for Adam? I think there's going to be the possibility of outreach to the K-12 system through student talks. I'd love to see that happen more. I'd love to see a big lecture that brings lots of people on campus into a lecture hall so that they can learn about examples of positive corporate social responsibility and how it really is possible to do well by doing good. But only Adam will be able to tell us how that works out. Whatever the future does hold, we know that it will be to our benefit at the intersection of career development and community engagement through sustainability. Thank you. Congratulations, Adam.
Please.
1 sentence. This really belongs to 8 years of students, pretty much all the research, all the publications, all the projects, everything. If you're watching, somebody's recording this. Guys, all 8 years of you guys, wherever you are, this is for you. This is yours.
Olivia, where are you? Olivia, you have the choice now. Adam went for the long version. Do you want the short version or the long version of Olivia? We're going to be short. Olivia, who you see over here, doesn't look anything like her picture. She's been doing this for a very long time. Olivia is going to be graduating in a few weeks. She is an engineering major, and she has a special academic interest in physics and sustainability studies and public policy. Hopefully, she's going to continue, and I hope that's here, with a master's in sustainability. She has been incredibly active with the Green Navigators. In fact, Olivia was one of the first Green Navigators. So I guess that makes her one of the glorious navigators, right? Glorious Green Navigators. And now with Ashley, we have 2 glorious Green Navigators. She also was one of the first students to work with Housing and Residential Life in developing recycling in the residence halls. She, as the coordinator of the Green Navigators, supervised 18 students and mentoring all kinds of students, proved herself to be a tireless advocate for sustainability initiatives both on campus and in the community. And according to the eminent, is that the word? Susan Jennings, she displays a leadership and a solid work ethic both on campus and the community. Let's hear it for the the glorious student, Olivia Campbell.
Thank you very much for the memorial. This means a lot to me. I just want to say that I think the Green Navigators are really an underrated program on this campus. It's grown from about 8 or 9 students back when Laura was here to over 40 or 50 students that we're up to now. So it's really having a great impact on campus, and I'd love to see it go further. Also, I'd love to get a Master's of Sustainable Development on this campus so that I can continue to be a nuisance to the office. So, thank you.
Good afternoon, folks. My name is Chance Perks. I'm a grant-funded graduate forest technician here at UMass Dartmouth. A lot of my work is in the garden, in the forest, really bridging that gap between the students' academics and what we do on campus with facilities and other interdisciplinary efforts that we do. I'm kind of the green guy. Whenever you're going out in the forest, I'm the one kind of spinning the tale of the historical context. I'm the one trying to invigorate students as to how the earth feeds us and how we feed the air. In part of doing that, we have to work closely with facilities. We have 710 acres, both in campus, off campus, in the forest, on the lawns. So a big part of that is working with faculty. And sometimes, because we're all very busy, it's difficult to get a hold of them. But there's one individual who's really kind of shown above and beyond, and that's Troy here. His commitment to his job is outstanding. I mean, he's one of the few faculty members that I never see sitting around. His time commitment is outstanding. He's always where he needs to be. And his availability to be where we need him to be, especially in the garden. Our school calendar and timelines doesn't exactly coincide with the natural timelines, with how the seasons progress. He's as good with his hands with stone as he is with plants and crops, and that's why we nominate him today for this award. Troy?
Hi everyone, I'm Jen Riley. I'm the interim dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. I want to address a few questions that have come up just in my capacity of dean. We are moving forward with a concentration in sustainability studies with a liberal arts major. We can do the paperwork dance as quickly as we need to. It'll be ready for fall. Additionally, we will be moving forward with looking at that Master's in Sustainable Development, figuring out how we can fund it, and making that go forward. It will be a fully online program, and I'll be working with the Department of Public Policy to make that happen. I'm here to recognize the Department of Public Policy for the Green Campus Award for a department. This is Michael Goodman, Chad McGuire, Devin Lynch, Clyde Barrow, and Shauna Sweeney. They've done a great deal of work in forwarding sustainability academics on our campus, including serving on the first working group for online certificates in 2008, putting forward the proposal for a Master's in Sustainable Development. They've also consistently advanced the research and practice of sustainability through community partnerships, through student internships in our local communities, through multidisciplinary projects with the various colleges, as well as through their own research and publications. They're a very active research group. The work of the Public Policy Department has helped ground the UMass Dartmouth sustainability discussion in practical ways, including contributions to the Southeastern Massachusetts Council on Sustainability and recent Sustainable Cities presentations. There have been some transitions on campus. The Department of Public Policy is moving to the College of Arts and Sciences. I am thrilled. We welcome you, and we congratulate you on your work.
Chad and Devin Lynch are here. I know Colleen Dwiggy and Bob Goldberg. Thank you so much. There's actually more of this. Professor McGuire, Professor Lynch, Professor Sweeney, and Barrow who were not able to join us today, and of course our partners at the Urban Initiative, especially their project manager, Colleen Dwiggy, Jason Hill, who you heard about earlier, who wasn't able to make it, and Bob Goldberg, who are both MPP students and stalwart research assistants at the Urban Initiative. And I think in the spirit of the Dear Leader metaphor, which I'm going to steal now, apologies to Professor Darst, I really think special acknowledgement for these achievements needs to go to somebody I'm going to now call Kim John McGuire, who as the leader of our environmental policy concentration for the MPP and the certificate program, and a huge part of the Masters of Sustainable Development effort through his teaching, through his personal dedication to the topic, through his service, through his collaboration with students. I hope you could be here for that chance. So thanks.
Good afternoon. I'm Matt Roy, Assistant Provost and the Director of the Ladue Center for Civic Engagement here on campus. Before I present the award for community service to Adrienne Wilkins, I really need to take a moment to acknowledge one of our colleagues. Laughing together is one of the ways that we sustain the soul. It's a connection between people. I don't know about you, but that was probably the best laugh that I'm going to have this week. Rob Das. The other thing that sustains the soul is when we serve other people. When we live a life where we recognize that each one of us is challenged to develop ourselves to be the biggest, most whole person that we can be, such that we can give that gift to others. It's a sustainable lifestyle. You recognize that it's not about you, but you have to develop yourself in order to give to other people. And that's what Adrienne does. And so I'd like to ask her to join me up here. And I also want to say I'm really happy that the awards, that this ceremony happens to be on National Volunteer Week. And so this week, we have dozens of students that are out there cleaning trails, students and faculty and staff, out there cleaning trails and cleaning up the cities and doing murals in the cities and whatnot. They're essentially living the life that Adrian lives every day. And so I'm really proud to give this award in recognition of exemplary sustainability service on behalf of community members. You have been chosen based on your untiring work with the Power Project, with New Bedford Energy Now, and in your neighborhood. We recognize that sustainability requires leaders in all parts of the community, and your energy, creativity, and leadership have inspired many others to become involved in the green zone in New Bedford. In effect, a part of the city where people are trying to change their lifestyles and become much more sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To say that I was absolutely surprised when I got the notice from Susan that I had even been considered, let alone awarded this. It's an understatement. I am very rarely speechless, but I think you guys can write this one down. This is a red letter day. I'm speechless, but I can just say I couldn't have been honored by a better group of people. Susan has been inspirational. My director, Scott Durkee, my partner and partner in crime, Ken Ramos, we worked tirelessly on our energy efficiency efforts for the residents of New Bedford, knowing that it's the first step in energy sustainability. I wasn't even aware that people knew my name, let alone the work that I genuinely value and take to heart. I'm glad to have my children here, and I'm glad that you all just even took a moment to honor me. Thank you very, very much.
Hello, everybody. I'm Deb McLaughlin. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for UMass Dartmouth. I get the distinction of honoring a building, not a person. But as we all know, it takes people and a team to get results like we got at the Claire T. Carney Library. So with that being said, I really would like to acknowledge some people. Claire T. Carney, our former Chancellor, McCormick, our current Chancellor, Davina Grossman, from UMass Dartmouth, Terry Burton, who's actually in South Africa, which is cool, Mike Hayes, Peter Gelmarker. Peter, could you stand, please? Catherine Fortier-Barnes,